Hey, this is Ada.
This is Stefan.
And welcome to Living Simply in Mexico.
And today we're going to talk about things to do in Puerto Vallarta by vacation type. We had ChatGPT identify the different types of traveler, vacationer, people in Puerto Vallarta types that are here. And I
did a pretty good job.
I did a pretty good job. I came up with 10 and I added one more. Without further ado.
All right, let's go down the list.
Actually, before then, let's talk to Eddie, my guy that cuts my hair, because he's got some ideas. All right, we are on. So, Eddie, the question of the visit, is for you. If a person's coming for a week, what would you suggest they do? Like one or two items. What would you say? Hey, don't check out this. Don't forget about this.
You know, I just had a customer the other day from Poland.
Yeah.
They came for a wedding, and they came over from Poland for 3 days.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I sent them to the Mirador to go up to the.
Oh yeah.
Because that gives you the perspective of. I mean, you see everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful view, mountains and ocean. And I told them to come to go to the Mirador.
Mirador, okay.
So, and I said to go to Botanic Gardens because it's, I mean, that you have to, one of a kind experience. And I sent them to Sayulita because they were, kind of young.
Younger, yeah. That's what I was saying. If you're younger,
Sayulita
is kind of the place to be.
And if you, if you want to even be in the bohemian vibe,
that's Sayulita.
That's the place to go.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for the tips.
You're welcome.
All right, man. Off for the haircut. If you're like a 20-something, Puerto Vallarta generally is a little bit older. And so as Eddie mentioned, he actually recommended folks to go up to Sayulita because they are younger. So if you are here, you're not going to miss out on anything. It's really great to be here regardless of your age. But if you're younger and you want to have that young vibe, go to Sayulita for a day or two because it's a great place to hang out and feel that vibe. I feel really old there, actually.
I feel very old there.
First type of vacationer is the beach vacationer. That is a valid one, right?
Yeah, well, I would think of a beach vacationer as a person that wants to go to the hotel zone and hang out at a resort, and kind of have more of that experience where you're coming to Puerto Vallarta more for just getting, having a week, being pampered, sort of just being able to completely just not think and just relax.
Yeah, just relax. That kind of like the all-inclusive. In fact, there was one thing on one of the Facebook groups. It's like, hey, I'm looking for an AI. Can you help me out? I'm going, artificial intelligence? And I realized all-inclusive. And what's really interesting about that is you see a lot of people saying, I want to get out and visit things and go out and do a lot of things culturally and stuff like that, and to be at an all-inclusive, and I'm going to be at an all-inclusive. It's like you kind of have to choose between one and the other because one's going to give you all of your food, all of your booze. You're there to sit back, relax, enjoy the beach, whatnot. The other is going to bring you out into the world of Puerto Vallarta and Mexico in general. And so that's one decision you'll have to make. But for a beachgoer, absolutely right.
Well, and I think once again, for some people, being able, when we asked ChatGPT to create some of these visuals, we noticed that the ages of all of them seemed a bit younger.
Maybe 30, maybe 20,
maybe
30.
One or two. But
I kind of forced some to be older.
But I think there's something to be said about the beach vacationers do tend to be a little bit more on the younger side because they're you're hardcore working.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hardcore working. We have sort of something different that stimulates us and allows us to chill out. But our chilling out isn't necessarily sitting at a beach. Our chilling out is actually being in the community.
Right.
But it is, if you just want to unplug, I think that's probably why we'll tend to see younger in those types of environments or families.
Yeah. And a couple other things about beaches, because you don't have to be an all-inclusive to be at a beach. Obviously, Los Muertos Beach is great. It's great for people watching. It's also great. It's not a great place to do work, as I show here in the video. Hey guys, this is hilariously funny. Ada's trying to do like a conference call on the beach in Puerto Vallarta, on the party part of the beach, no less. It's kind of funny. I don't know how she's doing it. Like a full-on meeting.
Educator, whatever that's going to be there, who's in that region.
You're trying to like do a conference call while walking in front of Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
Yeah, that's why I said it. We're not down here relaxing right now.
But what you can do, though, is in addition to Los Muertos Beach, which is great, you can continue walking around some rocks and stuff. And there are some more secluded beaches down the way that are a little less busy. In fact, pretty quiet.
I
actually.
like going down to Conchas Chinas Beach, which is just, if you just walk all the way down to the end of Los Muertos Beach, there's a little trail, just kind of go up and over the hill, and you'll walk maybe another 15 minutes or so, and there's some really great little more secluded spots that are quiet. So you're going to be able to enjoy the water and enjoy some sand, and not necessarily share it with thousands of your best friends.
Right, exactly. But the thousands is fun too sometimes.
Boy, that's a huge change. Check that out. Looks like they did some serious work to the pier. Much needed, by the way. Painted, cleaned up. Dang.
And then also north too, there are some more local beaches that you can go to. Was it Playa de Camarones?
Yeah, I think that's more the local beach. It's a little rockier up there.
Yeah, a little rockier, but anyway, you've got your plenty of different places to go to the beach. So definitely, all inclusive versus sort of in the town Los Muertos, or some of these other places that you can go to. Lots of fun. Next is the adventure seekers.
Now, those don't have to be mutually exclusive either.
Right.
Those, and a lot of times those adventure seekers may be part of some of these other groups, because you can carve out just a couple days of your trip to do something a little more adventurous.
This guy shown here in the picture, I think they're trying to get the idea of zip lining down. And that is not something, if you're coming here and wanting to do something really cool, zip lining is fun. Was it Canopy Ventures, Canopy
Tours we did.
Yeah.
And that they actually, Canopy Tours does also does the ATV over the largest suspension bridge, which I'm not going to say it because I'll mispronounce it.
But it's really cool.
But that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's definitely one. Also, just if you, once again, adventure could be on the water.
Yeah.
And so
renting a sailboat, right?
Renting a sailboat, or doing something that might be, some of you guys might be into fishing and that sort of thing, which for me is anything on the water. Maybe a little bit more of that, and also just paddling, scuba, that sort of, or not scuba, well, maybe scuba.
Yeah, paddling,
snorkeling. Those are all, like I said, those types of more outdoor adventure type of things. I know our friend Sylvie has done some bioluminescent tours over by Los Arcos, so I'm going to shout out to her.
We'll put some links down below too.
Yeah, and so. Anyway, so there's just a lot of really cool options that, like I said, you might be going for all of that, or you might just go for little tidbits.
Yeah, if you have like a roll-up paddleboard and you want to bring it down, that's a cool thing to do here, because you could paddleboard out to Los Arcos and do all kinds of fun stuff there. Also, hiking. We've done some videos on hiking from Boca de Tomatlan, and so there's cool stuff there, and there's some waterfalls that we haven't been to, but there's plenty of stuff to do in that. And then, as Eddie mentioned earlier, just hiking up to the Mirador. That's great. Some great urban hiking, and that's what we do a lot of, actually.
Yeah.
Going from a little bit different of an angle is the cruise ship tours that really only has like less than a full day, right?
It's your quick and dirty, you're coming off your ship, and what do you do? All right, I just got done showing my friends around. They were just here for a day on a cruise ship. So I gave them the quick and dirty Puerto Vallarta tour. So we started out, I had them take a taxi to Diamonds International, which is at the very beginning of the Malecon, and then we walked along the Malecon, and since they still had some of the Dia de los Muertos sort of decorations up, we enjoyed those. We walked all the way along, went and saw went to the cathedral, walked and saw some of the little streets around, and then we went down, continued down along the waterfront into the romantic zone, so they can experience that. Went to the tile park, and then came back through the Isla, and then up through Gringo Gulch, and past Casa Kimberly, and then down just along through Gringo Gulch, and here to one of the lighthouses. So, just for reference, the one lighthouse is down on the Malecon on Galeana. If you go up Galeana up to Matamoros and take a right, you'll see the steps to it, which is right down there. and it'll take you to this very unique view of Puerto Vallarta.
Yep. And we didn't talk about the dude ChatGPT made as the guy that's on the cruise ship.
That looks pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. He's got his beard going on. They all have beards. He's taking a picture of his map. I don't know why he's taking a picture of his map, but anyway. Next up, what do you think's next, everybody? It's the cultural enthusiast.
I think we fall more into this category.
I think we kind of do, don't we? Puerto Vallarta is a vibrant place. There's a lot of culture here. And if you have time to really get into it, there's some really great people to meet and a lot of depth. I would say if you're down here for a week, don't miss the Wednesday evening art walk.
During the season definitely between November and usually May.
There's many studios to go to. There's the Central Cultural Vallartense. They have, they've been putting it out. I don't know if it's done by them, but there's like this mural tour where you can walk around and see a bunch of murals, which is really cool.
And that's it's really fun to see the mural. I mean, as we've mentioned in past videos that they're constantly changing. And actually, Ernesto there at Centro Cultural Vallartense, he and Kika have actually painted many of the murals.
There's other places like OPC, and then there's always a parade of some sort going on. And if you're here in the early parts of December, there'll be a ton of parades for the holiday season. But we just had Dia de los Muertos. We then had the Revolution Day parades, and that's right. Hey, you went down to that for a little bit, right?
I did. One thing, there is a Facebook group that's it's from the Puerto Vallarta like government Teresa's Gobir. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it without seeing it, but we'll put a link to that Facebook group. But it's actually that will sometimes have information on some of the local events. It's all in Spanish, so just use your Google Translate.
All right, next up, speaking of youth and romance and love, it's the romantic getaway traveler.
Yeah, I actually have some friends and who have come down here for destination. We have friends that we've been down here for destination weddings, but also coming down to celebrate anniversaries and such. So you might want to check out our old video or a past video. What's more romantic, the Romantic Zone or Gringo Gulch?
Yes, that's a good one.
But I think. Yeah, there's definitely, if you kind of want the Mexican romantic vibe, it is here. Probably more in Gringo Gulch for us in terms of where we felt it, but everybody's got their own idea of what that means. This particular picture, this couple is sitting quietly on a beach, but I'm waiting for the guy to come up and say, "Ostiones!" and sell some oysters or maybe a baseball cap or something.
That picture does not. No.
Yeah, we're the other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they went to Conchas.
They got to some like hidden beach someplace, but that's a pretty big beach to be hidden.
Yeah.
The other thing is on that. Places that are good, like dinner places and places to stay. If you're looking for a romantic, higher end experience, I would say no other place than our previous video, and we'll show that up there too. It would be Casa Kimberly and the Iguana restaurant. It would be Hacienda San Angel and their restaurant, as well as both have wonderful places, romantic places to stay. And then the Bellevue boutique hotel.
And once again, that has the best view.
That has the best view, yeah.
That iconic view.
And La Capella, which is their restaurant. Next up is family vacation, and actually, one of our trips, our daughter was how old when we came? Like 1?
When we went to the wedding.
Yeah.
She was like 7 months old.
7 months old. We brought our daughter down to Puerto Vallarta for a wedding. We didn't have a place here, and she really enjoyed it. So if you have small children or teenagers, what are your thoughts, Ada?
That's probably going to be where staying in the hotel zone they may prefer, because that way they have their access to the pools and those amenities.
Yeah.
And they might meet some other people their age, and that might be more enjoyable to them. That being said, you have seen our family vacations, where that's actually just can be really fun. Where we've actually stayed, at, and once again visiting with, having my Mexican family, which actually are here right now, or some of them, some of my cousins from nearby. My cousins who drove 4 hours from here. They live in Outland. And they are, I love it when you have guests and they make food. So she's making a little salsa there, but we're gonna have flautas for lunch today. So just getting together all the yummies. But also we have stayed at some of the little hotels in El Centro and just basically just walked around and once again, just gave them a bit of the cultural experience here. Even though those were actually our Mexican local family vacationers. But once again, a family will look very different in what you can do. Do you have people that might be a little bit more limited mobility-wise? You're
talking like older like
you know what? Sometimes, as we've had our family video, where you might have a mix of people that are, of all different sort of stripes. And so it's actually not a bad thing to go down to a beach restaurant where usually it's easy to get the taxi down there, and it's flat. And then everybody can have a little bit of enjoyment of being near the beach, being able to socialize with family and stuff.
Yeah, you can always do like the larger places, like all-inclusives or larger hotels. We haven't done it yet, but like Los Arcos, which is right on the beach there.
It's in the romantic zone.
It's in the romantic zone. That's simple and relatively easy. If you had like teenagers, obviously we talked about earlier, the zip lining, maybe going on a boat. Those sorts of things I think would be good, or just going to the beach. I think that's what you would be into, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is. Oh, by the way, what does our picture look like? Those look like happy vacations.
Yeah, they basically went down, found a place on the beach.
Just hung out.
They're hanging out. So you cannot go in the water like me, where I don't want to necessarily swim in the ocean, and I can enjoy my beverages, or you can have the kids jumping in the water, whatever it might be.
But it's just another dude with a beard.
Yeah. Don't start.
Next up, LGBTQ plus travelers.
I'm not sure this picture is really. This is what it looks like.
The dudes got beards.
The dudes have beards. They look like they're related to each other.
And all the women look alike too. It's kind of weird. The LGBTQ plus community here is all shapes, sizes, all people, all the time, and it's just
ages.
In ages, exactly. And so it's really a good place. And, let's make no mistake about it. Puerto Vallarta is a world-class destination for LGBTQ plus folks. There's no doubt about it. There are entire hotels dedicated to it. The social scene is crazy. Obviously because of that, and in part because of that, the entertainment is just
it's off the charts.
Crazy here. Like we went to it was Stephen Retchless. He was on what was the show?
He was on America's Got Talent. But he's got every season he does a different show. I think usually at Act 2 PV, and so that's where he's at right now. And we went and saw him, and once again, just blown away by a really great show. Okay, first of all, Stevie, I'm borrowing this dress, right? Yeah, I'm gonna raid your closet. I know, right? We just got done watching Stevie's show, and there was singing in multiple languages. There was dancing, aerial dancing,
chair, lap dancing, striptease,
comedy. It was the whole 9 yards. So
duets with myself.
That was an amazing one-person show. So anyway, really enjoyed it.
Yes, invite all your friends.
Yeah, thank you.
It was like a drag show with pole dancing and some philosophical stuff around artificial intelligence, going with the theme here, I guess. But yeah, so you cannot. This is the destination if you haven't known that already. All right, next up. Retirees. Now, LGBT thinks a retiree is someone that, is old, older, right? And that's true, right? we're all, I think, all our age group between.
We have friends that are retired that are younger than us.
Yeah. Our friend group here in Puerto Vallarta runs from, I would say, early 50s, late 40s to well into 80s, maybe 90. I mean, it is a large spectrum of what they call retirees. Of that group, there is a large variety, and there is so much to do. Now, I think what they meant by this is that you're down here more full-time or at least half year, and because of that, you can really dive deep into Puerto Vallarta. And unlike just a small beach town where you may get bored after a while, there's endless amounts to do here in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, especially if you're kind of looking to stay busy and kind of giving back to the community. So, I mean, I think that's the thing. There's a point where, being retired sounds a little scary because it's like, well, what do you do with your time and yourself, and what's your purpose? And I think that's one thing that I think Puerto Vallarta really shines, is if you're looking for a purpose, if you're looking to find a tribe of people that have similar interests that maybe you've always wanted to get into or that you already are into, it's there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, be volunteering at the Vallarta Garden Club and, the Isla Quale.
Go play chess.
Play chess like Robert. We had another video. He's got a chess club that's pretty intense. There's English teaching. You can teach English. There's tons of benefit events that folks go to give back to the community. So there's a lot to do here if you're as they group you into the retired group. I hope to be that someday, but not today. Oh, one other thing about the retired group is then that also goes into daily life, like having, renting your house and then finding the oven broke, and then it happens to be buen fin, and then we have to buy an oven.
Okay. I didn't know this fell into retiree, but here we are.
We got to weave it in someplace.
Okay. All right, we had to finally get a new stove, right?
Yes. Well, actually, the stoves that we got the place were actually good. They're Bosch, but very old. And the problem is with this thing, for instance, you lift it up and you get the idea. And then we never use the oven, and then we tried to use the oven, and there's a bunch of glass pieces that just fell out. So it was time for a new stove, and of course we're buen fin, so we had to move quickly. And so we got a new stove.
Right, which we checked the dimensions, double checked the dimensions.
Yes.
And then we got it delivered in like 3 days.
And what the interesting thing is they talked about the width, right? And quadruple checked it, and it's like 30 inches here, 30 inches there, all good. Even the diagram said 30 inches. But what the diagram didn't say, or any of the content said, is that this is actually 31 inches. It's the inside that's 30 inches. So it does not fit in the spot.
Which means we're gonna have to cut through. We're gonna have to be grinder people.
Grinder people today.
All right, well.
A little dusty.
A little bit dusty, but we got it in. Had to take out that little side piece though.
Yay!
So. Not too bad, and I guess we have a little place down there. We'll figure out what to.
We'll probably cover that with something.
Yeah, a little storage space. So, okay, yay. Yes, that is when you are living down here, and then that's back to just like your day-to-day, like things that happen and living in Puerto Vallarta, or at least having a house in Puerto Vallarta.
Next up is Foodies. Guy's got a beard.
Well, looking at this picture here, yeah, of course he's got a beard. I don't quite know where he's at eating tacos. That looks like a pretty good spread. There's no shortage of finding all sorts of different foods. In fact, this time around, we actually even had Korean food. There's really great food. If you're wanting your traditional Mexican food, it's here. If you're wanting to have a little break from that for a bit, you can find pretty much sushi, you can find Asian food. There's a great Rico Indian that's down on the Isla Quale. So yeah, there's lots of different.
Yeah, we should do like a full-on series about food in Puerto Vallarta. But there are so many great restaurants here. It's ridiculous.
We're not foodies ourselves. We just like to eat.
Yes. Or no, actually, Ada doesn't like to cook.
I don't like to cook, and I don't know like fancy stuff. I just know, do I like it or not, and I like to eat.
Yeah, there's some great ones out there. We'll probably put a list below. We don't want to take up too much of your time here, but there's so many great places to eat.
Well, no, I think I don't know if it's pig out. I'm not quite sure the name of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's Korean barbecue
it's got
and a
the
sports
design,
bar.
yes.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it.
It's
when
got
we
that
do
design outside.
Yeah, and you
They
know,
have 40 peso modelo especial
yes,
on
and
draft.
and apparently they just opened, and upstairs they have
Full like Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue, like where you actually do it with the barbecue. Let me have somebody actually talk about what's going on.
Yes.
What is the name of the place?
All right, Daiji.
Taiji. Oh, okay,
Taiji.
there we go.
So basically it means steak
Okay.
on Korean, and it's pretty much part of the concept. It's all you can eat. In Mexico we say, comí como puerco, which is like I
Like a
ate
pig?
like a pig. Yes. As it is a new concept, the owner is Korean, so all the salsas, the kimchi, all the marinated meats, it's the original and authentic Korean taste. It's grilled on your table with charcoal, right? We provide the kimchi, salsas, rice, vegetables.
That looks good. You still got your little sides coming
Yes,
up.
that was
I
yummy.
got some little Vietnamese rolls, and we already consumed some other food. I'm not sure if my
That was-
camera will appreciate your glistening, because you are definitely, you're sweating. So.
I ate all of it, but it's spicy. I tell you, I need my mashed potatoes to cool down.
Next up, I think this is number 10 actually. I've been counting. So is Wellness Seekers.
Well, the interesting thing is this would probably fall more under my bucket.
Totally.
You know, because that's already, I'm, you know, like I said, doing retreats down here from a kind of Pilates and wellness standpoint. The ChatGPT's version of that is not what you would experience with me. I'll just tell you that right now. I always tell people, I'm like, this is not going to be you're sitting there, saying, on a beach that's deserted, you know, in the forest. No, we're going to be eating tacos and teasers if you're a Pilates
And these
person,
are like
you get
all
it.
like 20 somethings like on the beach. doing
Yeah,
some
most of the
pose.
people, honestly, a lot of the people that are kind of looking at wellness stuff, it's kind of, I think, coming back to being in a place where you get lots of sunshine, fresh air. The indoor-outdoor living is really conducive to experiencing that. There are retreat areas and places that are down, like even in Yalapa or up north. So if you do kind of want more of that secluded experience, those do exist. But around here in the community, I know that they do like yoga classes. You know, sometimes you'll see them on the beach, or you'll see them, you know, different little locations here. And yeah, there's certainly, I think there's some Pilates studios. There's all sorts of like, what is it, like IV, like get your IV hydrated, whatever. Like that stuff is too space age for me. I'm not into that, but it's here. And you know, and all those things that I think even sometimes from a wellness, I'm gonna slide into medical tourism is a thing here.
Yes.
And so, you know, that would be another reason why people might come here, is actually to seek some of their medical care, as we have done, not necessarily specifically to do it here, but we happened to be here at the time, and it was actually very easy to get things taken care of.
Yeah. Now, one thing I know that your retreats fill up pretty quickly and they're relatively small. And I know you don't like to promote them, but if someone was interested in your retreat, since you mentioned it, did you go to your like BeWell-StayWell site?
Go to BeWell-StayWell.net, go to the store, and it has upcoming programs, and there is a place that you can click on that's getting the waiting list. So when I do announce them, you're kind of the first to get the notification before I put it out to the general public.
Cool. And by the way, that dude,
He's got a man bun.
He's got a beard too, of course. But I think he's a little close to the waves. I think you should move that little pad.
I've had that experience before. Ask me sometime in a meetup about my experience with waves and being a little too close while trying to do a photo shoot.
So those were the items that ChatGPT identified as the different types of travelers. So did they miss anybody? Do you have any others that are a subcategory of that or a different category? I had one. And I thought this was a very, very big miss, and that is the local tourist / traveler. like
my family.
Family.
They're a 4-hour drive from here, and actually, what was interesting is that so my cousin and his wife and their 2 kids came up, and the funny thing is Diego's wife had never been to PV, but she grew up in Outland, which is down, like I said, like 3.5-4 hours away. So they're here. Like right now, they went to the beach. To enjoy it, but it's just nice because being able to, like, we were on the Malecon last night, and getting local food and all of that.
Getting your hamburguesa.
This is our 55 peso hamburger.
It's full. Let's
On the
see what's in
Malecon.
there. There's all sorts of.
All kinds of stuff.
It's chock full of lots of stuff.
Yes,
so
exactly.
We'll see. It looks pretty darn good.
Yeah, I know. Oh. See if I can eat it without making more of a mess.
Yeah, that was something else. I had the 3 bites would have pretty much.
Yeah.
Filled me up.
Well, what's interesting is for local tourists, obviously they go to the beach. A lot of them, will buy food and bring to the beach. Whereas like travelers from up north will come in and will sit down like at a restaurant. Come bring your own food, go on the beach. There's all kinds of little places, stores to buy quick service food that's really, really good, right? And so there's plenty of places as a local tourist that if you don't want to do like the kind of the higher end restaurant thing, I actually want to do more of that, right? Because that's one thing that we haven't done as much of, and it's great to have Ada's family here.
Yeah, they brought ribs, so we're having ribs tonight. Diego made us some pork ribs. That's a rack. Wow. Nothing like having your guests come and bringing the authentic food. So now we actually have a stove that works.
We're so excited because we're getting into the season of high season, right? And it's really a lot of fun because we get to meet a lot of you guys that are either down here already but are coming down. My father, who I will put a video snippet from a previous episode here, will be down. So I want everybody to watch for him and say hello when you see him. That'll be fun. He'll also be wearing this shirt that I showed in this other video too. So keep an eye out for him. Also 2 meetups, right? We haven't done a meetup in a long, long time. We've been super busy and it's been sort of, just kind of off season. So we'll definitely do a meetup at some point in December, would you say?
Yeah, we'll find time.
We'll find the time. So definitely join our Facebook group for that. And speaking of that, I had ChatGPT do.
What would a Puerto Vallarta Living Simply in Mexico meetup look like? And
This is a new one,
apparently,
yeah?
that looks pretty good.
That looks pretty good. They got the table out there.
We're hanging out on a beach restaurant. I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah, except I wonder about what the heck is the rollie doing on the beach?
I don't know.
Don't put a rollie on a beach. That's not good. And I noticed like most of the dudes got beards again. So I guess we'll see. We'll see how many folks that we meet up have beards.
There you go.
Anyway, that's it for today, right?
That's it. Maybe critter of the episode.
Critter of the episode. We still got a Garobo up there, but
and we have the crocodile that's hanging out.
The cocodrilo, yeah.
Yeah, hanging down at the mouth of the river. Time to go swimming. Right there with Mr. Croc.
Yes.
So I would just I wouldn't swim anywhere near the mouth of the river.
Yeah, yeah. There's people all the time in the water, but there's been at least 2 that I've seen together. Crocodiles down on the mouth of the river. Usually they're there when there's a lot of rain. They get pushed out in the ocean. They come back and they find a fresh water spot. But if you're on the beach, you're fine, like Ocean Beach. And I think I wouldn't be near a river at night swimming because I think that's where most of the stuff people sort of get it. They at night near a river mouth, not good.
Yeah.
So anyway, safety point for today.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, take care, everybody.
Our Katrina is no more. Time for another holiday.
All right, they got the Christmas decorations up in the plaza.